let's get into our first question of the panel, which is, what social or technological developments led us to the current state of polarization in media today? And let's start off with Craig, then John, then Norb for this one. So Craig, take it away.
Well, I think when you had Gutenberg invent the printing press in 1456, all the books that he published, and the first were, of course, the Gutenberg Bible, had to be submitted for censorship to the Bishop of Mainz. And so the European model was always one of censorship. Many Protestant reformers, as you may know, failed, like John Huss. He was executed and so on and so forth. One of the reasons that Luther succeeded was because of the printing press. His 95 Theses were printed up and distributed throughout Europe, which was a huge propaganda boost for the Protestant Reformation movement. So, starting with the earliest media, we know that there has always been some bias in the media that takes place. During the American Revolution, all of the press was biased one way or the other. They were either Tory papers that supported the British, or they were revolutionary papers, and they were unabashed about it, and they mixed news in with commentary, much like some stations do today. During the election of 1800, which was hugely controversial, the newspapers printed terrible stories about Jefferson, and Jefferson leaked through his papers terrible stories about John Adams, claiming that Adams had procured prostitutes for the Tsar of Russia when he was ambassador to Russia. So if you think politics are dirty today, you just go back through our history and it recurs over and over again. The Hearst newspapers were terribly biased at the end of the 1800s. They favored William Jennings Bryan for president, and then they pretty much promoted the war with Spain through cartoons showing ostensibly Cuban officials body searching naked women. So the press has always had a polarizing influence, and I think that's been a problem. And it ties back to media literacy. I think people need to know that. They need to see where their paper is coming from, who owns that paper, who's advertising in that paper. Wouldn't that give that paper a bias? How can they look past that? I think that's the important questions to look at.